Hello everyone, this is Harley from Garden FL, and today we're going to do an update on our Jaboticaba tree. Now actually our Jaboticaba tree here at our house in Bradenton, Florida is actually flowering and fruiting. So I actually purchased this Jaboticaba tree about 10 months ago, and when I purchased it, I actually thought it was a red. I purchased it at Fruitscapes LLC in Plinia Pine Island. When I got this tree, I was actually super excited because, believe it or not, it was actually loaded from top to bottom in fruits. So that is why I thought it was a Red Jaboticaba, because of the size and considering it was loaded with fruits. But later on in the future, I had a friend who's pretty experienced in Jaboticabas told me that it's actually a black Jaboticaba, which is, I guess, is another early fruiting Jaboticaba. But let's check out the Jaboticaba tree. Okay, so here is where I planted the Jaboticaba tree. Like I said, this I believe is a black sabara, but we recently just got leaves. As you can tell, these new leaves are just hardening now, but you can still tell that the tree is fairly new in pushing out its growth. As you see, I really like the placement of this Jaboticaba because it's placed right here. It's under the shade of the oaks. Now, if you don't know, Jaboticaba actually goes fairly well when it's in part shade. So as you see, the Jaboticaba tree just is very beautiful. As you can see, now we kind of get a better look at its new growth. So this Jaboticaba tree stands about, I would say, more than 7 feet tall because I'm 6 feet tall, and it stands over me. As you see, here's a height comparison with the Jaboticaba. And as you see down here also, as you see overall, I just really like how the tree kind of looks, how it kind of just crowns up as it grows. And with this new flush of foliage, it just looks really well. It's starting to fill in the spot much better. And as you see, it just has a really good spot, especially right here when the morning sun is hitting. So we are gonna check out the flowers on this Jaboticaba. So here is one flower on this Jaboticaba tree. Now, believe it or not, but this Jaboticaba, when I bought it, was loaded in flowers, and it was in a 30-gallon pot when I purchased it. It cost me about $300 with the $50 delivery fee from Pine Island to Bradenton, which is about an hour and a half. So that was definitely worth it, and totally worth it because it was 30 gallons. So it was very heavy. But as you see, this Jaboticaba has a beautiful little flower, and I believe there's 2 flowers actually on that tree, on that trunk or branch. So the girthness of this Jaboticaba is actually pretty girthy. As you see, I don't want to really wrap my hand around it because I see a lot of bumps around, which I believe are going to be flowers. But as you also see around the Jaboticaba, I have a really thick layer of mulch, and I just throw about everything. As you see, fruit peels, anything that I'm eating, I just throw here really. And something about planting actually Jaboticabas in the ground, because as you know, you might see a lot of Jaboticabas in pots. A lot of people like to keep them in pots only because their root system is actually very fragile. And typically in Florida, when you transplant them, a lot of them will suffer unless you plant them with a lot of peat moss like I did. And also it's because in Florida, the soil is not as acidic as they like. They like really acidic soils. So something I've had to do is actually add pellets that will make the soil more acidic. And I did that about 5 months ago, so I believe that's why we are actually getting some activity, some fruits and flowers now. As you see all along the trunk and branches, it is starting to actually get swollen in some areas. So I do believe those may be some flowers. Now there's actually a Jaboticaba fruit already growing. As you see right here, we actually have one baby Jaboticaba fruit already growing. And as you see, they start off in a lighter green color, but as they mature and actually turn into their fruit, it'll get a much darker red, kind of purplish color. And if you guys actually didn't know, Jaboticaba is actually one of the fastest fruits to flower and turn into an edible fruit. I believe it's under 30 days, or it is 30 days, a month, which is actually really fast from flower to fruit. So I'm really happy that this Jaboticaba is actually starting to be productive now that it's in the ground and, you know, receiving more sun. And it's actually growing out, so it actually makes me really happy that it's, you know, it's taking up its spot. And I just can't wait till I can come out and just see everything loaded with fruit. This tree is about maybe 10 plus years old, so it's gonna be fruiting anytime soon. And like I said earlier, if you buy a Jaboticaba and plant it in the ground, and if it was already fruiting when you bought it like I did, it probably will take about a year to 2 years to actually get acclimated. They need to really adjust to the soil, to the ground that they're planted in before they get productive once again. That's why people like to have them in pots, just because they're much more easier to manage in a pot and they fruit. But I always like to think that once things are connected into the network of life, into the earth, into the soil, that things are kind of, you know, just taken care of much better. So I'm really happy how everything is looking. So thank you guys so much for watching this update on my Jaboticaba tree I really can't wait till I get this new flush of growth, and until next year where I believe it will start flowering much more and abundantly. Each year as it goes on, I believe this tree will just get much more stronger. Hopefully I want to add a Red Jaboticaba 30-gallon. So hopefully I'll find a tree around this same size. I have to look for it, and I'm hoping this time it will be a red. I actually know how to identify Jaboticabas a little better now, so I won't be misled as I was last time. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this Jaboticaba update. I'll make a video when I actually harvest the fruits, and thank you guys so much. If you haven't added Jaboticaba to your garden, go and buy yourself a Jaboticaba. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a good day. Bye bye now.